It was September 17th. Me and my Braden, you see him on the video quite a bit, couldn't go hunting. He had to go to a dance. And my wife wanted to come down and go bow hunting. So we went down into our piece, and lately the deer have just disappeared off trail camera. We got a lot of big pictures of bucks and stuff that we've been seeing on trail camera. And they just, everything disappeared. I mean, it went from getting hundreds of pictures a night to 0. So we knew they'd switched food sources. And there's a few acorns dropping, but I didn't think it was enough to really make them lock on. But I just wanted, I had a sneaking suspicion there's got to be places that the acorn, there's a few trees that have a lot of acorns. So I set my wife up in one stand that has a big oak in it and had some acorns. And I walked up over the mountain, went down over the other side where 3 or 4 years ago, I shot a big buck doing the same thing. Same thing, they disappeared and all of a sudden there was just a few acorns and I nailed one down in there. So I go down, I have a tree stand down in there, got permission to be there. Go down in, somebody stole my tree stand. But it's like a 35-minute walk to get in there. So I almost left and went to another spot, but I decided not to. So I went down in, found a tree, got tucked in, just bummed out that my stand was gone, thinking that there's no way I'm gonna get a deer. There's a lot of sign, I could see where a big buck had been in and out of there a lot. There was a lot of his tracks, he had a beaten path. I could see there's a little brook with mud in it. I could see his tracks in it a lot. And when I came in, I saw where a big deer had been bedding a lot. And I was afraid he was bedded there and I'd already bumped him out and I wasn't gonna get him anyways. But I was like, well, you never know. Could get, what's gonna happen. If you're in the woods, there's always a chance. So I sat down and I heard, about an hour after I sat down, I could hear antlers rattling. And I thought for sure it was so loud and perfect that I thought somebody was up there rattling antlers. Somebody was crashing them together. I was like, there's no way that's 2 bucks up there tickling horns. But I got excited and I turned my thing on when I heard limbs breaking coming towards me. So I turned the camera on, got my hands up, and all of a sudden I looked, and you'll see on the video, he steps out, up out of a little ravine, but the wind was blowing kind of off my face down, and then every time it would let up, the thermals, I could literally feel them push almost towards where that deer was. So when he come up over the side, I thought for sure he had busted me. So I was all right behind his shoulder. I really should have waited. I get excited, I pulled the trigger, and you'll see what happens, and I'll show you what all this noise is about. It's these guys here. They won't be quiet so we can shoot. They're gonna be the new bloodhounds. I just shot a great big buck, but I'm afraid I might have
I'm hoping it made it through that front shoulder. I see the light sticking out, so I ain't positive. Shit. I don't know. That's a big son of a bitch. I should have waited a second. I got way too wound up. Way too wound up. It ran down there and turned and went right up there. I mean, I see the knock right behind the shoulder, so hopefully it went in deep enough. That's a nice buck. That's a big son of a gun. I'm friggin' wound up. I gotta get this thing. I mean, I don't know. I heard it break some limbs and all of a sudden I see it right there. Hopefully you guys got it. I'm shaking like a dog shitting razor blades. I don't know why I did that. I should have just waited a second. I thought he was looking at me. I'm sitting on the ground. I don't like it. Alright, I'll get back to you. So I'm back to the truck and I'm freaking wound. Hopefully in the video we can see where I hit it. I was trying to hit it in front of this front shoulder, and I'm hoping that, because it looked like the arrow went in and just buried and stomped. It wasn't flopping around when it ran off, but I might have hit it right in the front shoulder. I'm hoping that's not what happened. It looked like he ran and ran up, and I was pretty sure I heard him go down. I'm not positive. The way he ran like he was done. But I get so wound up. I mean, I get ridiculous. It looked like it was a really nice buck. In this type of urban stuff down here, there's no deer, and it's so tough to get them. And what had happened, we'd had a bunch of deer on camera, and we'll show you pictures and stuff of them. And all of a sudden, they just all disappeared because there's so many people that try to hunt this piece, and they'll go walk all through your food plots, even though your land's all posted. They'll walk around it. So a couple of my friends had been telling me they've seen a few acorns around, and I'm seeing a few acorns outside of the expanded zone. So I had a spot where I shot a big buck like 5 or 6 years ago doing the same thing. They disappeared, and they were on the other side of the mountain on these ridges eating acorns. So I go down, I have a tree stand over there. Somebody stole my tree stand. Imagine that. You know, who out there hasn't had their stand stolen a few times? So I said, to hell with it, I'm going to try sitting on the ground. Oh, I was so nervous. I was like, I hate sitting on the ground. It's awful. And I heard that deer racking. It almost sounded like he was fighting with another deer. So I should have waited a second, but every time the wind would stop, that's the way the thermals were blowing. It was down towards him. And he kind of, when he stopped, he was looking right at me, and I thought I was busted. And I had all my pins right on his shoulder. So I mean, you'll see it buried in there, so hopefully all it has, where it hit, if it got in 4 inches, I got him. But hopefully it did, so we'll get back to you. I'm going to go get my wife now. She's up in a stand. All right, bye. Yeah, it's starting to see, there's a splatter there, splatter there, splatter there. Some splattering right there. There's blood there, there's blood there. It's not great blood, but that other blood looked.
The way that arrow is.
Yeah, and we found a chunk of fat.
Blood right down there.
Got it?
See it right there. There's blood right there.
There's a speck right
Look,
there.
See that little speck right there?
Yeah, yeah. We'll tie this.
Does that look like something went through there?
All right. All right.
It has to be on this trail. Yeah.
Right. It turned off this trail at one point, though.
Probably went by that tree and went right.
Yeah. That speck's of blood right there. See it?
Mm-hmm.
It's like I bet you it ran that way. Right there, is that a speck of blood? That's poison ivy, Stephen.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. See it right there?
That's fine. Nice. Right there, that little speck of blood. And there's blood right there.
Yeah, that is blood.
Oh, that was poison ivy.
Yeah. Wipe it on your pants really good.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Oh, I can see where he's running.
That's weird how that. Look, he just.
You ran over that stick, so it's the whole way.
Like crash, see what he hit there and there. I don't know. There's blood right there, right? No, hold on.
That doesn't smell paunchy. No, it doesn't.
There he is, right there.
Yep.
Holy fuck. Holy fuck, it's Junior. It's fucking Junior. Look at that one. And I pounded him perfect. It ain't Junior, but it's a fucking good one. I hit him perfect. I wonder how the hell he went that far. That's a nice one, ain't it?
That's a nice 6. Man, you did hit him perfect. A little bit high, but it probably come out. It probably went into his.
How did he go that far? Hey. Oh. Hey.
I was like, look, no, that blood is
Oh shit, I bet you my camera's out. Nope, there he is. There's that big buck.
I'll call Braden real quick.
He doesn't have a thing. There he is. We got him. I didn't realize I was recording the whole time. Huh? Yeah, this isn't going to be fun. We're going to mark him. That's a nice buck. I need some pictures of him. I can't believe he went that far. Look at the hole.
I know.
I 10-ringed him. It must have hit his off-going shoulder.
He's
Jesus,
there.
that's
It went
bad.
up in him.
Yeah.
Definitely not happy, is he?
No, that's a nice buck. Oh, it couldn't be worse.
He went down the furthest possible he could, you
Yeah.
son of a bitch.
It could not be worse.
He's like, well, if I'm gonna
Look at
die,
that
I'm
buck.
gonna make it hell for you guys.
Well, that's our first buck on video, our first deer on video. That's a beauty right there.
Yeah, but right from the truck, we're not all that far.
We did a big loop.
Yeah, we did.
If we go,
He's been dead forever.
Yeah.
Look at that baby. Look at that. Ain't that a beauty?
look at that.
You want the light?
Ain't that a nice one? That ain't Junior, but
Still
it's a good one.
buck.
Yeah.
Is that a 7-pointer?
No, it's 8. Nice
8-pointer.
8-pointer.
Hey.
That's a beautiful one. Probably goes 200 pounds. How the hell are we gonna get it out of here? Well, here it is. We got her out, getting ready to skin it out. It's about 75 degrees out. But geez, last night, and I mean, you can see where I hit it right there. And it went a long ways. Went in, took out one lung though. Went through its liver and literally went out, come out through its gut. And I don't know why. I think it must have touched the shoulder blade and broke part of the arrow off, because it was like 6 inches of arrow. And it was stuck in there, and the other arrow had gone through down through its stomach and out through. But it went down into the worst crap hole, down over the mountain. You'll see it on us tracking. And it just didn't bleed. And I can't believe that hole there didn't bleed. And the blood we were getting was black. So it was all gut blood the whole way. It was funny. What happened was, you know, I was hunting food plots. We had tons of deer on them. I mean, a ton of big bucks on them. And I thought he was a deer we called Junior. And as soon as I was sitting there, well, I'll first go back. And we were hunting Junior, and we got one with a drop tine, and we got a white one. And I thought for sure that was Junior, Junior's about 160-inch 8-pointer. And we're hunting them in the food plots, and they just disappeared on us, just gone. And there are a few acorns, but it's like all the trees have a couple acorns in them. So there's ticks crawling on his ears, little tiny ones. So we were hunting these food plots, and then all of a sudden nothing. The first day I saw a nice buck, and then after that, nothing. Everything dried up, the cameras, no pictures. So everybody's talking about, you know, they're on a few acorns. So I went up over the mountain, I shot a buck, big buck, 4 or 5 years ago, down over the side of this. And I was just gonna, you know, I had to stand down there. It's a big buck hole. It's a big acorn ridge. They always run it. So I figured it's a good chance that, you know, at least get a doe or something down there. And I went in, and I could see where this buck had a beaten path down through the woods. And I see a big bed. I was like, shoot, I probably busted him out of there. So I went down over to get in my tree stand, and it was gone. Somebody had stolen it. So I was like, well, you know, what am I gonna do? I said, to hell with it, and I sat down on the ground, pushed up against the tree. I very uncomfortable. I didn't like it. Didn't have a lot of shots. I couldn't see good, but it was the best I could do, you know, without cutting a bunch of limbs. And about an hour into sitting, I could hear 2 bucks fighting. And I was so positive that it was somebody up there rattling antlers. It just didn't sound like, you know, the real thing. And then about 2 seconds later, I heard limbs breaking coming towards me. Got my camera on, got looking, and I see that side of that rack come up through over a little ridge beside me. And I just immediately, as soon as I saw that it was a shooter, I stopped looking and I just started looking in the kill zone, because if you'll see on the video, I get wound up bad. So he stepped up out there and he kept looking right at me. He probably wasn't looking at me. He was probably just looking up there, trying to see if there's anything up in front of him. But that dot was resting right there, and I just pulled the trigger. And I thought for sure when he ran off, I could see the Illuminox sticking out of him, that I'd punched him in the front shoulder and I weren't going to get him. But he went a long ways, and I'm pretty happy to have him. Anytime you can get a nice buck in expanded zone, I feel you've really done something. It's hard hunting. These are city deer, and they do not take any pressure before they're done. You know, usually get them on your first sit or two, or that's it. But pretty happy with everything. Glad to bring it to you guys.